Midnight Drearies.
In the quiet, sleepy, quiet town of Muncie, Indiana, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, a sense of unease had settled upon the community. A palpable dread that crept through the alleys, whispered through the trees, and hid beneath the cover of night. This sense of unease had a name, and it was Garfield the cat. Muncie had once been a place of serenity, sleepy quiet serenity, where children played in the streets, and laughter echoed through the town square. That was until the arrival of a peculiar antique shop called Brimstone Curiosities. The shop seemed to appear out of nowhere, as if materializing from the very shadows it cast. Its dusty windows revealed a collection of oddities, macabre trinkets, and ancient artifacts from distant lands. The owner of Brimstone Curiosities was a gaunt man with piercing eyes, known only as Mr. Gontague. He was said to have an uncanny ability to sense the desires of his customers, offering them exactly what they sought, regardless of how obscure or sinister it might be. One fateful evening, a lonely disheveled man named John entered the shop. He had heard rumors of Mr. Gontague's talents and hoped that the shopkeeper could provide him with companionship. John was a schlub, and his only solace was the company of his beloved cat, Farfield. Unfortunately, Farfield had been hit by a car 13 days ago. Splat went the cat. As John perused the dusty shelves of Brimstone Curiosities, Mr. Gontague observed him with a knowing smile. The shopkeeper produced an ornate, ebony box adorned with intricate silver symbols and whispered promises of eternal companionship. Inside the box lay a peculiar statuette of a cat, its eyes like twin voids, and its fur was a mesmeric orange like that seen only at event horizon of a horrific black hole sucking all light and life into itself in a cosmic dance of slow swirling death. It had strange tentacles emerging from its body. It is said that this cat will be your constant companion, Mr. Gontague clicker-clucked, his voice carrying a note of malevolence hidden beneath its honeyed tones. Desperate for solace and unaware of the darkness concealed within the statuette, John agreed to the deal. He paid the price, and the cat statuette, now named Garfield, was placed in his care. From the moment Garfield entered John's home, an eerie presence settled upon the household. At night, John would hear unsettling whispers echoing from the shadows, and his once hospitable home grew cold and oppressive. He began to notice strange occurrences, objects moved on their own, shadows danced in unholy patterns, and the moonlight cast unsettling silhouettes of the cat upon the walls. Soon, the entire town of Muncie fell under the shadow of Garfield's influence. Neighbors grew distant, friendships withered, and laughter turned into pained whispers. The once thriving town square now stood empty, the air heavy with foreboding. Then, the real Garfield, the cosmic horror from beyond the stars, had manifested in the form of a living cat with tentacles similar to the graven idol. He was no ordinary feline but a vessel of ancient malevolence, a conduit to unfathomable realms beyond human comprehension outside of space and time. He fed on the fear and despair of those around him, growing stronger with each passing day. As the town's suffering deepened, John realized the terrible mistake he had made in his quest for companionship. He tried to rid himself of the cursed statuette, but it was always returned to him, as if compelled by a sinister force. No matter where he placed it or how he tried to destroy it, the evil idol returned, its eyes gleaming with a starry-eyed faraway look that was unnerving and danced in the moonlight. The townsfolk, now trapped in a nightmarish existence, began to disappear one by one. Their souls consumed by the darkness that emanated from Garfield. Those who remained were hollow shells of their former selves, driven to madness by the relentless whispers and visions that plagued their minds. John, consumed by guilt and desperation, sought the help of a reclusive scholar known as Dr. Weskier, a man with knowledge of ancient cosmic forces. Together, they delved into forbidden tomes and conducted rituals to banish the eldritch presence that had overtaken Muncie. Their efforts led them to a revelation, a cryptic chant that when spoken with unwavering resolve could sever Garfield's connection to the cosmic horror that animated him. Armed with this knowledge, John and Dr. Weskier confronted the vile cat in the heart of Brimstone Curiosities. In a climactic battle that shook the very foundations of the antique shop, Jon recited the chant, his voice ringing with uncertainty. As the words left his lips, Garfield's form contorted and writhed in agony, spitting and hissing. A dark, demonic voice came from the cat, "But I'm so hungry, Jon. I need to consume. Consume more souls." "It talked," Jon exclaimed. The cat talked. With a final, otherworldly wail, Garfield's existence unraveled, collapsing in on itself like a dying star. The darkness that had consumed Muncie for so long dissipated, and the town was bathed in a long-forgotten light. But the cost had been high. Jon, drained of life force, fell to the ground, his body frail and aged beyond its years. Dr. Weskier, too, paid a steep price, losing his sanity in the process. Muncie began to heal, slowly but surely, its once cursed inhabitants finding solace in the return of normalcy. But the memory of Garfield the cat, the cosmic horror that had almost destroyed their lives, would haunt them forever. As for Jon, he spent his remaining days as a recluse, a broken man who had glimpsed the depths of cosmic horror and lived to tell the tale. He had learned the hard way that some desires were better left unfulfilled, for in the pursuit of companionship, he had unwittingly unleashed a nightmare upon the world, a nightmare named Garfield. But whatever happened to the eerie idol? Hopefully it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.